welcome to Audio Thoughts with Prince on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Today is the 19th of July 2022. Remember, guys, to like, share, comment, and follow. And so, guys, this morning Herod wrote a story saying that 1,200 primary and secondary schools built in the last 4 years, and so which means that since 2018-2017 up to 2022, 1,194 primary and secondary schools have been built by the current regime, and so at least 1,194 primary and secondary schools averaging about 300 per year were built countrywide in the last 4 years, in line with the government's quest to reduce the distance learners walk to and from school and ensure the delivery of quality education to all citizens. Latest statistical data has shown this comes as the number of teachers for early childhood development (ECD) at primary and secondary levels have increased significantly between 2017 and 2021, thus reducing the teacher-learner ratio across the sectors. It also comes as the demand for education keeps increasing owing to the expansionary policy embarked on since independence 1980. The lack of adequate schools has often exposed parents seeking enrollment for their children to dodgy private school owners. According to the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education Statistics Report 2021, 958 primary schools and 236 secondary schools were built between 2017 and 2021, taking the total to 10,147. Yet, it had been for the COVID-19 pandemic, which slowed down progress as a result of lockdowns enforced to curb its spread, the number could have been much higher. In 2017, there were 6,123 primary schools, with 6,071 of them offering ECD facilities, and 2,830 secondary schools. In 2021, the numbers surged to 7,081 primary schools and 7,057 of which offered ECD, a total of 17 at boarding facilities, while 3,066 were secondary schools, with 61 being boarding schools. In comparison, there were 2,401 primary schools and 177 secondary schools in Zimbabwe, taking the tally to 2,578. Although there was a progressive increase in the number of ECDs, primary and secondary schools from 2017 to 2021, the percentage increases did not follow a similar pattern. Between 2017 and 2019, there were some year-on-year percentage increases in ECDs and primary schools. In contrast, secondary schools had a surprise percentage increase in 2018, reads the report. Year 2019 had the highest percentage increases for the three levels, with a percentage increase of 6.49% for ECDs, 6.9% for primary schools, and 2.89% for secondary schools. The MOPCE 2021 report notes that the percentage increase in the number of schools constructed for the three levels dropped significantly in 2021, possibly due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and increased notably in 2021. Schools in Zimbabwe are categorized as registered, unregistered, or satellite. The bulk of primary schools, 75.26%, are registered, while 9.39% are unregistered, and 15.35% are satellite schools. At least 68.17% of the secondary schools are registered, and 3.26% are unregistered, with 28.57% constitution satellite schools. Explain the report. In absolute terms, Zimbabwe has 5,329 registered primary schools and 2,090 registered secondary schools. The number of unregistered primary schools is 665, in contrast to unregistered secondary schools, which are 100 in total. The number of primary and secondary satellite schools is 1,087 and 876 respectively. In addition, schools in the country are considered as government or non-governments and further categorized in terms of the responsible authorities. Most of the schools, totaling 5,322 primary and 2,185 secondary schools, are run by the government through line ministries, city councils, district councils, and town boards. Schools run by churches, missions, mines, private companies, farms, trusts, and private individuals, among others, are classified as non-governmental. Furthermore, the MOPC 2021 report notes that the projected school-going population in Zimbabwe, constituting learners between 3 and 18 years, is 6.6 million, with 50.23% of them being females and 49.77% male. However, the actual enrollment is at 2.8 million learners and 1.4 million male learners and 1 million at primary and secondary levels, respectively, summing up to 3.9 million as of last year. About 1 million learners, 495,262 males and 505,982 females were enrolled in lower secondary Form 1 to 4, while 86,388 were in upper secondary school, which is Form 5 and 6. The majority of primary school learners, which is 72.98%, are enrolled in rural schools, while 27.2% are in urban schools. For the secondary level, however, there are more female learners enrolled in urban schools than in rural areas for all the forms. Remarkably, save for the skills orientation and proportion of female learners in urban schools stands at more than 50% across all the forms. Notably, the number of teachers increased annually between 2017 and 2019 for the three levels of the education system. To date, there are 17,937 ECD teachers, 80,175 primary school teachers, and 48,740 secondary teachers, taking the tally to 146,852 as the report. Parents who spoke to this publication expressed gratitude to the government for spearheading the construction of more schools, as they often parted ways with substantial amounts of money on enrollment charges, fees, and transport, since most schools were not in their location. Ms. Admire Ndori of Upwood said, as parents are the risk their children's lives by making them use private taxis and unregistered combis to and from school due to transport challenges. We thank the government for the schools that were built in Upwood and other areas. We have seen a lot of schools being built, schools like Adelaide Secondary School, which is nearby. The move has eased the burden on us, as we often risk our children's lives to private taxis and unregistered combis on a daily basis, he said. Mr. Naim Mtuna from Mabra, Harare, said she appreciated the building of more schools, but the government is overcrowding in schools, particularly in the wake of the coronavirus, was a cause for concern. Mr. Takuzwa Chainacho said, although there were many schools in Highfield, Harare, for example, the government should continue building more schools in new suburbs like Southlands, Southly Park, and Eastview to ease pressure on existing schools. I stay in Highfield and there are many schools there. More schools should be built in new areas, since children from these areas continue growing existing schools, forcing them towards it, he said. And parent, Mr. Beth Msenga, lauded the government for funding more schools, saying education was a crucial sector in the country's development. So guys, that's the latest which is coming from the Herald. They're saying that 1,200 schools were built for the last 4 years, and since 2017 up to 2022, and yes, 1,200 schools were built. So I went to our friend Hope, of course. He also read the same article, and he's saying that the lies are writing themselves now. If the president could go and officially open a borehole, how did he fail to officiate at the opening of just one of those 1,200 schools built? ZNPF has failed dismally, and it has just decided to lie Idi Amin style. Imagine if we didn't have social media. And so it's that this is a lie. Hakuna shukuru za kama wako, hakuna 1,200 schools were built by government. And this is Idi Amin style. ZNPF is lying. is just one of those propaganda news that they want to campaign for my elections ariko next year muna 2023. Munozona say katitaure in the comment section. This is Prince Mila Entertainment TV. You are listening, you are watching to Audio Thoughts with Prince. And so someone else said that amuna kukanganisa here muchida kuti zviborani tozotakaona mwari kuti about Binga district. Yes, kubinga uko hakuna zvikoro zviriko, kubinga hakuna zvikoro zviriko. Makaona videos na pictures ekubinga munonzwa tsitsi mushausa kuti chichiri kuitika. I mean, schools should be built in Binga and are not in Harare, whereby we have so many choices. We have many options in Harare, but school children who are in Binga hawana choice, havana option yavanayo. And someone is saying that nemachaidzo izvo zvakare zvaparara izvo matoilets marabisha maclassrooms acho ari panze ari nani apa magroup A schools aityisa kare kuzoti mulocation west anenge mwari kuti hamunyare here. And someone saying kuti a list of those schools anenge toda list ezvikoro zvakavhurwa muna 2017 up to 2022 muchiratidza kuti zvikoro izvi neizvi zvakavhurwa maprimary schools kwawo ega, secondary schools kwawo ega, so that we know kuti okay, they're talking about these schools which were constructed since 2017 up to 2022. Someone say kuti zvatisina kumboona zvichikommissionwa here mwari kuti apa mazonyanya kunema munosinyepa asi this time mazonyepa. And mwari kuti mutikwanire vanhu veherald munopiweiko nekunyepa kwamunenge muchiita. And mwari kuti propaganda modziwanza in this era of social media you feel imagine a wasted paper. And mwari kuti nekufarira kunoita mukuru kukomishina zvinhu ndege dzingadai dzichidona 1200 zvikoro kupi nhai herald. And mwari kuti give us the school names. Mwari kuti kana zvakadaro muri kugona asi kana zvisiri muri kungonyepa. And mwari kuti very stupid misguided fools, nyeperai vekumusha, stop fooling us. And mwari kuti where vamwe vana vachidzidzira panze samasai kuti musachijairira imi kuita kunge tisiri munyika macho. And so many people don't agree with what the Herald wrote, saying that 1,200 schools were built for the last 4 years. They're saying that this is a lie, this is just propaganda. Katitaure in the comment section. This is the Audio Thoughts with Prince on Prince Mila Entertainment TV. Remember to like, share, comment and follow. Atidi kutukana in the comment section. Let's just talk about it. And they're saying that 1,200 schools were built for the last 4 years. Many people don't believe it. They're saying no, this is a lie. Some people they are saying kuti chinenge chokwadi. And saka imi munozona say remember to comment, no vulgar words, no kutukana. Let's just discuss. Thank you very much for listening and watching. This is the Audio Thoughts Prince on Prince Mila Entertainment TV. Bless up.